Hey everyone, Aussie Viking here to do another video. I just came back from Han Solo, probably, what time is it? Probably an hour ago. And wow, it is a good film. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. I'm not going to lie, I don't think any Star Wars fan really wanted a Han Solo film, at least not a Han Solo film in the past. But they did a good job, and I am extremely surprised how Disney did it. So, first of all, her first half, no spoilers, second half will be, so you're good there. But basically, I find it strange. They're really shitting the bed. Disney is really shitting the bed when it comes to the main trilogy, 7, 8, and maybe 9. We still got to wait, but honestly, I'm not holding my breath. But when it comes to the spin-offs, they're doing a lot better. The world building's better, the characters are better, it's not as social justice-y, although you could definitely triangulate certain things that you could say is a bit social justice-y, but it really just depends on your view. But overall, it's pretty damn good, and I'm so happy. I mean, I think it's got something to do with the fact that, you know, the first 6 films have a really interesting extended universe, unlike 7, 8, and 9. Just saying. They really suck. Is this the best Star Wars film? No. Is it the worst? No. That still belongs to The Force Awakens. Is it a good film that actually kind of answers a few interesting questions? Yeah, I do. It's not perfect. Some characters, I think, could have been done better. Certain instances about Solo himself could have been done better. The cameo was amazing. Like, I think this is better than the cameo of Darth Vader in the Rogue One. Oh, and it opens up such a great amount of... Like, it just opens up, man. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars TV show, you'll love this because there's so many references. And I really love how these films kind of make the universe bigger. Because they're a mix of prequels and original trilogy. So they actually kind of like morph both the prequel trilogy and original trilogy together more so. Which is great. As a fan of both series, it's great that there's now that really big connection there. Alden did a great job as Han Solo. I can't remember the guy that did Lando, but he did a great job. There are times where you're literally like, oh my god, he sounds exactly like Lando. Sometimes I think they might have changed Lando's view on things a little bit. He comes off as a bit childish a little bit at times and a bit too much. There's a scene where he gets angry because one of his cakes is getting destroyed because he has to put out a fire. I was a bit like, hang on here, that's a bit too far. I think that's a bit too much. But then again, you could say he's younger, who knows. But overall, it was great. Chewie and Han's relationship was pretty damn good, I have to admit. The first time they meet is interesting to say the least. Beckett, the master that teaches Han the ways, he's really interesting. He's one of the best characters, although certain things happen and stuff, and you're kind of like, damn. But fantastic. Enfy Nest, bit hyped up. It's not really in it often. I say it because it is a very big it. I don't even know what kind of thing that is, but it's it's a very interesting character, sort of. It's kind of just there for a twist, really. I kind of feel like Emilia Clarke's character is great, and Paul Bettany's a okay villain. He's scary for like a few scenes, but then he kind of like, you know, waves around. The crew's cool, the heists are great, but it's a bit like, you kind of know what's going to happen. You can kind of tell that when you're watching this, you can kind of tell who's going to go no. You know, you can tell who's going to betray. You can tell who's going to do this. You can do that. Some of it gets a bit flipped around. There was a reveal in this where I was like, I wasn't really expecting that. I kind of was, but I wasn't at the same time. I was expecting this, and then that what I was expecting sort of happened, and then this and that. So it's kind of like, it slightly changes temptation of what you think is going to happen slightly. This isn't kind of, it doesn't go like Last Jedi where it's like, oh, you think it's this, and then it just goes like that, like it goes all the way over here. It doesn't do anything like that, but it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's pretty interesting. So overall, I liked it. I'd probably give it a 7, maybe a 7.5, kind of like a 1.5 thumbs up. It could be better, but it's a good film overall, and I want a sequel. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I want a sequel to the Solo film. If we don't get a movie based around one of the main characters, which I'm going to go to now, because that was one of the best things ever. So next part is going to be spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, there's the door. Oh, there's the door. Either way, come back to the spoilers and stuff. So spoiler time now. So the big cameo in this, I guess you could say, was, well, Darth motherfucking Maul. Yeah, he looked badass. He looked exactly how I thought he'd look 20 plus years in the future. I think it's 20 plus years. About 20 plus years in the future, or 30 plus years, I guess, if you count the fact when Phantom Menace happened. So it was great to see him. If you watch Clone Wars and Rebels, you kind of know what this is all about, and it goes into a certain bit of his history. So he built in the Clone Wars. He built up this empire of an underground society of pirates and just awesome bastards, and it's fantastic. And it's great to see him on his throne. Unfortunately, if you've seen Rebels, something happens and he kind of gets off that throne. But I like how they did it, and I guess he's got another 5-10 years before that sort of happens. So there's a lot of great stories to tell, and I really cannot wait. What where this gets taken is going to be taken into a TV show, it's going to take into comic books, or is going to be taken into a whole new film. Because Maul, think about it, Maul, a film with Maul in it would be perfect. A film with Maul would be fantastic. It'd be hard work because they have to dub it. So they've got Ray Park, the original actor, in the Phantom Menace, but they've had to dub it with the voice actor that did him in Clone Wars, which is great. But if you do a whole film basically around that, where you have to dub him in, it would be a bit longer. But it would be awesome because it's Darth Maul. He looks badass. He's got his legs. He looks like oh my god, yes, he looks great. I don't know how much people are going to be like, oh yeah, but how did he survive? That's probably going to be a bit strange. But overall, that was the best cameo in Star Wars in a long time. You could say it was better than Vader, because Vader you kind of knew was going to be there. But yeah. Anyway, he was awesome. He doesn't do much. He's a small cameo. He doesn't get into an awesome fight scene, which I want. I mean, because if you watch Rebels, there's a reasoning where he's like, I can't face Vader alone. So he's fought Vader. Vader, Darth Maul. Yes. Get Disney. I know you fucked up a lot of things about Star Wars, but give us that, please. Just, if there's anything you want to give your fans, give us that. And maybe a Jason, Jaina twin solo thing. I'm just saying, I've been reading a lot of the old Extended Universe stuff, and I miss them. Other stuff, other spoilers. Beckett dying. He was such a good character, and I kind of get it. You know, he's to teach Han that it isn't how he thinks it's going to go, and sometimes he has to be that bastard, and it kind of makes sense. Shoot first, I guess you could say. It sucks though, because he was a good character, but he sets up a good introduction of how Han changes, and I like that. There's also a lot of old Extended Universe stuff in here as well, which I liked. The fact that Han was an Imperial Stormtrooper, I guess you could say, and stuff, and then he ditches them and stuff. I thought that was great. What I didn't like was how he gets his name. In the old Extended Universe, if I remember correctly, Han Solo was a name of a dynasty of Corellian, royalty. Here, he's given his Solo name as Solo, as in like Jon Snow, as in bastard. So he goes to him and goes, what's your name, son? Han. And your last name? I don't have one. Alright, I'm going to call you Solo. And it's like, okay, it's kind of cool, but then it's kind of like, but why? Why does he, why would he keep that Han Solo name? Hey, we got a Han Solo here. Hey, he was an Empire guy and he left. We should probably arrest him. We probably should. We got moments of Han Solo being on Tatooine. Well, we better pick him up, because he used to be it's kind of a bit dumb. I kind of hated that. I thought that was dumb. Another thing was, there are characters in this where they're all over the place, and they're either not in it, MVNS, or often, like MVNS, or if they're just in it and they die. So the black chick, I've got her name, because she was only in it she was like a love interest, and she died. They were together, which was kind of cool. And then there's that monkey thing. They both die within the first, I think, 15, 20 minutes. Maybe first half an hour. It's hard to remember. Because it does go fairly fast. It's a good mixture, but they just die, and I'm kind of like, oh. And there's not like that love interest guy, that love interest that he has. He has one moment of no, and that's it. He just gets up and forgets her. Oh, okay. What about the monkey guy? He looked cool. And it kind of sucked, because they did have that flashes of awesomeness that you kind of like, oh, I like these characters, and they die, and you're like, fuck, that sucks. And I really, really hated that. I'm not going to lie. I thought it could have been... Sorry about that. Technical problems. So yeah, like I say, it goes fairly fast, but it's not a bad rate. Yeah, so some characters die, and it's kind of like, eh. Some characters are a bit, There are some old characters from original, like from Phantom Menace, being like that small guy played by, what's his name? He did the Ewoks and stuff, and he's great. His character from the Phantom Menace is in this one, which I thought was great. Let's talk about some of the weirder ones. So the robot, I liked, and it was cool how it becomes the mainframe of the Millennium Falcon. But she has this whole rebellion thing, and it feels like it's more played for comedy, which is the one big thing I hate out of this new Star Wars. The comedy's too on the nose and kind of annoying. she's not that bad because she does die and then she gets put into the thing. So you're gonna get really half the film probably with her, and then she's gone. But it's also weird because it's kind of hinted at that she's kind of had sex with Lando, because there's a bit where she's like, yeah, Lando's got a thing for me, and the Emily Clark's character's like, how does that work? Don't worry, it works. And I'm like, oh, okay, so people fuck robots, which isn't out of the blue. Like, let's be honest here, if you're in a universe with robots that have their own personality, shit's gonna happen. But it just feels a bit weird because Han in this kind of comes off as, well, he's been confirmed to be pansexual. I'm fine with that, but I don't know. Half of me's like, I get it, and half of me's like, I don't know. Then again, he lives in a world where Twi'leks exist, so being a pansexual means you do anything. Makes sense, because who wouldn't want to be with a Twi'lek? I'm just saying, Twi'leks are hot, you know. But overall, this film is good. Like I said before, it's probably between a 7 and 7.5. It's not the best Star Wars film, but it's not the worst. It's got less problems in it than 7 and 8 did. The world building's better, the characters are better, there isn't as much forced jokes, there's not forced diversity. Although, I'm sure some people will complain about Enfrey Nest. It's a girl, and she's, I think, 16 years old. She looks 16, she looks young, and she's killing people and doing awesome shit. That's not impossible in this universe, mind you, because stuff like the Jedi doing some crazy shit even as kids, but I don't know. No, I'm fine with it, but I kind of wanted to know, I wanted to know more about her. So apparently she's with the rebellion and stuff, and she's got an English accent, which I'm sure is going to shoot out people saying that she's Rey's mother. I'm sure that's going to happen. Oh, she's got an English accent, she talks like Rey, she looks hot. She's totally going to be Rey's mother. Totally. Like, that's obviously going to happen. But no, overall, it's good. She works her well character. She's not in it as often as I thought she would, but she's in it enough to kind of be like, hey guys, there's this and that, and you know, it's crazy. Because I find it strange, because she is one of the main reasons 2 of those other 2 pet characters died. Her swoop gang comes in and it kills 2 of those people, and I'm like, okay, but Beckett, who comes in later, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't try to kill her or anything, and it's like, hang on, she helped kill your wife, or the woman that you loved, and one of your band members, and you're just going to leave it at that? I thought that was a bit out of character and a bit weird, but then again, he's always like doing what you can to survive and stuff like that, so fair enough. But yeah, like I said, great film, great cameos. It mixes both trilogies together, which I really want the main trilogy, 7, 8, and 9 to do. They fucked it up with 7. They got better with 8. Hopefully they get good with 9. I don't think they will, because Disney just doesn't want the prequels in the sequel trilogy, even though the prequels are superior to the sequel trilogy in almost every way. But hey. Well, anyway, that's Aussie Viking out. That's my views on Han Solo. I loved it. I want a sequel. I also want a Maul film. Or a Republic Commando film. Because I'm not going to lie. I really want a Republic Commando film. There's some good action scenes in this. But yeah. Aussie Viking out. Silver Valhalla. Bye.